I'm Dustin. I'm going to stand maybe a little bit. I'm a teacher. I'm the dean of students at Major Prep, where Becca goes. I'm also Becca's soccer coach, so I know her really well. This idea of citizenship and what it means. I'm a huge proponent of all education is self-education. I can teach you things, but I can't really educate you. You have to want to do that. You have to learn on your own. And it's so important, talk about citizenship, to learn what that is. And where do you learn what that is? Thomas Jefferson, who's kind of a big deal, said that in a republic where it's not to be ruled by force, but by reason and persuasion, the study of reason and the ability to reason is paramount. And the place that you go to do that, according to Thomas Jefferson, is the classics. So you go and you study what other smart people have said about things to learn how to do that. And so it seems to me that if you're trying to learn what citizenship is and where you want to go, you study what really intelligent people throughout the centuries have said about it. What did Plato say about it? What did Aristotle say about man being a political animal and how man is designed to live in a society with other people, and what does that mean and how does that work? What does Cicero say about the duties of a citizen? Cicero talks about how the duty of a citizen to his state, right? For Rome, he's a Roman, right? So for Cicero, the duty of a Roman is to Rome first, then to himself. There's this idea about, well, what I'm comfortable with, that might not be the best thing for Rome. I want to talk about that. How does that work? How do those ideas make their way through Machiavelli and Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu, John Adams, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson? Those are big things, right? And so if we want to reason, if we want to be able to think, we have to have something to think about. We've all been there. I'm there more often probably than most of you, where we act and we say things without reasoning through. We haven't really. And for me, I'm still waiting for Twitter to come up with the edit button. They have other things that they're doing, I guess. Yeah, right? Because I've got this great tweet, and I tweet it out, and as soon as I hit send, right, and it pops up, oh shoot, that's not exactly what I meant. Or there's a typo in it, or something, right? Or my reasoning is off. We have to have things to reason about. We have to have stuff floating around in our minds already. Studying the classics, the value in that is it becomes the water we swim in, right? And we get rocked back and forth a little bit. If you've been to a wave pool, you've spent time in the ocean surfing like that, right? And you get back, and when you're done, and you lay down at night, and you still kind of have that little feeling a little bit. It's a cool feeling, especially if that rocking is the great history, literature, and ideas that have been passed down through the ages. If that's what's rocking you to sleep at night, if that's what's filling your mind, if those are the things that you're reasoning about, you're probably going to be in a really good place to then move forward. Right? Use those building blocks and those foundations because they're sure, they're strong, and they've lasted for a long time. The other idea that occurs to me, in a society where we need to come together and have conversations and discussions, and sometimes those happen face-to-face, sometimes those happen in a classroom with Nova kids, oftentimes in here it happens in that digital space. Those conversations need to happen, and conversations have to happen. Yelling at each other and shouting over each other, and whether that's in person or I'm pounding it out in all caps on my keyboard, that's not communication. Reactions are instant, and comments are immediate. And I think it's so valuable, and an important role of citizenship is you can't just read the classics and then spout them out. Right? The classics aren't there for you to use as a hammer to bludgeon someone over the head with. No, see, Cicero says this, so you have to believe me. George Washington believed this, so you have to believe me. No, you read those guys, and then you adjust and you react to them. Right? You don't bend Thomas Jefferson to your will. Right? Maybe it's the other way around a little bit in certain regards. But you have to think and stop. And I love what Becca said about before you do anything, you take a second. There's a tremendous difference between reacting and responding. Right? And that space in between those two areas, I work with teenagers, right, at school. They're learning that process, right? They react really, really well. And one of the things that I've seen, technology seems to be an amplifier of who we already are, right? Social media you don't become a new person just because you get a Twitter account or Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook if you're older, or whatever. Technology just amplifies who you already are, and so you need to be in that habit of ponder, reflect, and listen, and then respond. Because otherwise those conversations don't happen. We just shout into the void, or we shout over each other, or we yell at each other, and no conversation happens. And in a society where we're supposed to come together and have a conversation to improve our little corner of the world, that's important. And we can't do that if we have nothing to reason about, and if we're not taking the time to think about it, ponder it, and then respond.